Boom. We are recording live.
Shit.
We are on
We are live.
24/7 WPL's YouTube channel right now as we're sitting down.
3:26, 4 minutes till the bottom of the hour.
Yeah.
News and weather just around the corner.
And mostly outside.
And mostly outside. You know what I didn't do, but let's see if it works. I think I have the overrideability.
I still have a little ways to go before that's not round.
Give me a little sound check there, Pete.
Check 1,
Oh,
2,
my
3, 4. Is that all right? Is that too much?
No, you're beautiful. That
All
is
right.
good.
There we go. We got sound over there too.
All right.
Sound everywhere. Oh, we need these. Unless I want. What's in your loaf? What's in your loaf, Jack?
That's a pumpernickel. What do we got? We got 3:27. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to 3 minutes to blast off. 3 minutes to blast off. We really should get
What do you want?
a glass of wine, and then people think that it's a real
little
religious show.
Glass of wine, maybe a cheese platter as well.
Yes, we could do that.
So we got that's fine. And we can, I mean, whatever loaf. I was talking to a lot of people about this. And I'm like, well, what kind of loaves are you gonna have? It's you know, whatever it is. They were really intrigued about the freaking loaves.
Not to offend anybody, but we did it with white bread.
Hey, it was $1.39.
Hey, you can't.
White bread's cheap, man.
Hey, white bread. It's a privilege. It's cheap.
Privileged bread.
Get that privilege bread. Good.
It was sitting right next to the brown bread, actually, which was over $4 a loaf.
Hey,
I'm like, nah, I get 5 little ones for $1.39, even though I'm not going to eat them.
ain't nothing in your
I was
life today.
still looking at the bargain.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
28 cents a loaf.
I had to go get some golf balls for later on, and it just, which ones do I get the most of? Let's see, we'll go live here on Facebook in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, Facebook.
All right.
Over there on, and we're everywhere.
We
We're
are.
on YouTube, we're on Facebook Live.
Facebook Live, we're actually recording for streaming over the 24/7 WPL platforms later.
That's it.
So
Yeah, we're here at 21.6. This is great.
we're good to
Let's
go.
see
And
here.
looky here, we are right there. I can pull that up. I'm going to mute that, turn that
Oh,
volume down.
yeah, somebody's got to mute that.
Yeah, I just did.
All right.
Now we're quiet. So we can turn on this. So if any comments come on, we can now see what's going on.
That's right.
But push that button a few times.
Sure.
So
Yeah, let's see if we can.
Let's
We're
in.
going live. Let's connect. Hey,
Hello.
we are there on 21.6 and out. Welcome to the new show, What's in Your Loaf?
What's in your loaf?
We're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that.
We'll get to that. Of course, I'm Kent Jones.
You
With
tell
me,
is Peter Gault.
Peter Gault from Pete Talks Jobs on the 21.6 the net platform. We're also pushing out on 24/7 WPL. We're on Facebook Live. We're on the interweb, and we're on
YouTube
YouTube.
as well.
We're everywhere.
We're
Ted-
everywhere right now.
Ted Mosley, how are you, brother? What's in your loaf today?
Ted, what'd you put in there?
What's in there? So here's the deal. This is what this show is all about, right?
Yeah.
So Peter and I get together on Friday mornings with a bunch of people, and we have coffee. And while we are having coffee, we discuss anything from peanut butter to politics.
Whatever comes up.
And it just so happened that this past Friday, just about a week ago, we were discussing.
Already.
We were discussing Jesus Christ, not
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. And Pete, you had mentioned that he was a little short guy.
My impression is that he would be a little short dude because of where he's from. Little short brown fellow, not a tall, blonde, lean surfer dude.
Not a surfer.
You know, which we all see him depicted at throughout the annals of Christianity.
Christianity, the world, yeah. And so I kind of caught a little bit of that conversation. So I jumped in and I said, wait a minute. Do you think that God, because he's the Son of God, Stacy Verdon, how are you? Do you think that God and Mary, you know?
No, I don't think that.
Right?
You know,
Yeah.
that was not what they did. But
And I said, listen, if I'm making bread in Wonder Lake, Illinois, and I take it to Pennsylvania, is it now Pennsylvania bread? But then later we were talking, I'm like, really, let's make sense of it. If I'm making bread in my kitchen in Illinois and I jump on a plane with that dough in its pan and go over to France and put it in an oven in France, it doesn't automatically become French bread.
no, it's not French bread.
Right. So that's where, and of course we got some pretty deep thinkers there on Friday, which then they were like, we're not even talking about bread.
No, they did not like the bread analogy.
They did not.
But I thought it worked, you know, because hey, what's in your loaf? Your
Yeah.
loaf gets created where you are. It doesn't
That's it.
matter where you bake it.
No.
It's
Hey,
it's
what goes in it?
What goes in it.
Sometimes
so
there's gluten, sometimes
there's not.
Right.
And you know, I prefer the glutes.
So,
gluten.
So in talking about it, and really what I love to do is I just like poking the bear and getting people riled up a little bit
Really
there on
good at
Friday
that.
mornings.
You're really good.
And so Pete's like, we should just do a show about what's, I go, well, let's call it What's in Your Loaf.
Yeah,
So
it works.
So here we are. The
Yeah,
very
here we
first-
are.
Is it the first inaugural? Is it
Calm down, everybody who's going to hear that. We know there's no such thing as a first inaugural, but there is a first.
There is a first.
Next year we'll have our inaugural.
Hunter, how
No,
are you?
well,
brother?
annual.
Then it's the annual.
Yeah.
Right.
First annual. There's not a first annual. There's a first, and then there's an annual. This would be, I guess, our inaugural because that's the initial.
This is
That's the
blast off.
initiation. There we go.
This is a blast off.
Blast off.
Losing our virginity on this one. Stacy says sounds like a couple of crybabies to me over there. That's the people that absolutely. So so this is where we talk about whatever comes across our plate and funny things.
Yeah.
Right. So right now, and I love talking about what's on Facebook. And right now, what's on Facebook huge is Jessica Cox.
I don't know who that is.
Jessica.
Who is Jessica Cox?
Jessica Cox is this armless person. So she has no arms,
Okay.
and she's learned to do everything with her feet.
You'd have
Yeah.
to.
And so the cool thing is she is the first pilot. No such thing as first annual. Thank you.
Yeah, we know. We got it.
And so she is the first pilot without arms. And I was thinking about that as I'm looking at it. I'm like, man, she just flew in, and boy, are her feet tired. She didn't do well. She didn't do real well in school because she couldn't raise her hand to ask questions. But that's a whole different story too. But that's.
How do you suppose those jumping jacks worked out for her?
Too soon? No, that's. But
Push-ups or bend downs?
Yeah.
Should I stop? Is this
it.
too much?
Is this too much?
I don't know.
Bend down and I guess if she was touching her toes, I mean it's one foot over the other, and that's.
Touch your toes with your nose.
Well, she probably could.
Probably. I
It's
mean, if she
amazing.
can fly a plane,
It is amazing what she does.
you know, if she can fly a plane,
But I just thought of that old Bob Hope. Hey, I just flew in Pennsylvania. Boy, my arms tired. I went, yeah, boy, are my feet tired. She couldn't do that.
she flapped them right off.
That's it. That's it.
Right.
Here's another thing as we talk about Facebook and technology and these smart devices, right? Let me just plug this. Hey, if you want to find out how to listen to this show, there's 3 ways to listen to it, 4 ways to listen to it. Number one is you can go to www.216thenet and .com and hit the listen live, and you're going to hear us 3:30s on Thursday, and it'll be replayed other times. Or you can download the app on your smart device and listen to us on the app at 21.6 the net, or you can grab this because it will become a podcast as well.
Yep.
What's in Your Loaf?
And actually, you can also catch What's in Your Loaf on 24/7 WPL's brand new YouTube channel, and then also on the 24/7 WPL streaming platforms across iTunes, Google Play, Player FM, TuneIn, Listen Notes, Podcast, Pocket Cast, Spotter, Spotify, Stitcher, etc., etc., etc. So we will be all over the place.
Hunter, I would say that it is with your ears, unless you can't hear. And then it's with your hands, you'd be listening.
It's, so, but, I mean, although I do this all the time.
Closed captioning brought to you by the Italians.
Yeah, except I'm not. And
Right.
those people are just going to look at me and go, what?
He is just stuttering.
Yeah, I've got the
What?
I've got the worst stutter.
I wish
I'm sorry, guys.
people with Parkinson's have trouble with that too.
Oh man. I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to copy Larry the Cable Guy. I love that guy, but
That's right.
it's
That's
funny. I don't care who you are.
That's right. So here's the deal, and I am guilty of this. I am so guilty of this, and we were talking a little bit about this before the show. It's something with these smart devices and the camera and being able to go live anytime, anywhere.
Anytime, anywhere.
That makes everybody Tony Robbins, motivational, and I'm guilty of it. I've got done with some workouts, and I've done those because I really think that I'm a motivational guy. I'm really not. I look at it and I'm like, geez, I'm out of shape. Who am I kidding? I can't. I guess maybe I should Snapchat filter or something before I do it. But I'll tell you, there's nothing more irritating than scrolling through your Facebook feed, and every 10 minutes the same person has, or every 10 posts.
Yeah, every 10 posts.
There's a live.
Oh, there
somebody,
you are.
Right?
There you are. You're live again. You're live again.
Right.
And no, it's. I mean, I do live things, but they're purposeful shows.
Right.
I don't make a habit of taking my phone and going live every 5 to 10 minutes. Every time a thought comes in my head, I've learned that it's usually best to let that sit for 5 and 10 minutes and decide if I really still need to share that thought.
Right.
Over many painful experiences throughout my life.
Well, and what you do, right? And we have 21/6 the net. You've got 24/7. It's a content.
Oh, it's content driven.
Driven.
And you really, I get it. People want to put, we're told, you got to push that content, put it out there, put it out there, put it out there. But for crying out loud, there's only so much I can do every time your cat farts or coughs up a hairball. It's just,
Here I am walking into the restaurant. Just parked my car.
And there's this interesting pebble I found on the side of the road. It just made me think.
Let me do a piece. Let me give me some great insight on this.
Let me show. Everybody's become a Tony Robbins, and quite frankly, not even Tony Robbins is a Tony Robbins for me. There's only so many ways you can say things that are just immensely, wonderfully framed pieces of common sense before you start going, well, So
it's just how, I love most of the people. I love them all. I love all the people who are doing it, but it's ad nauseum. It's ad nauseum, and literally. I don't know.
It never stops.
I don't know what's in their loaf.
Well, do we know what's in their loaf? Because man, if they're coming across that much, they got to be showing something.
There's got to be some loaf showing.
There's a little loaf. I mean, I've got a lot of loaf here.
That's it.
And what goes in your loaf, man? Where does your loaf come from?
Where does it come from?
It's I was actually, as you're in the bathroom in the morning thinking, as one does, thinking real hard. it occurred to me, or what came across my head, is a lot of what comes into your loaf is, you enjoyed that one, didn't you? I'm surprised you didn't take it up there. I set you up. You're supposed to be knocking them out.
Sorry, I know.
But
That was,
a lot of that stuff that goes in your loaf does. I think it comes from your parents, parents' parents, and all that, all the way down the line.
One of the listeners out there, we won't use his whole name. It's Hunter. Speaking of which, do either of you know how to turn off notifications when people are live? Just keep scrolling.
Just keep scrolling. Nothing to see here.
And if you mean this show, then up yours.
Yeah, exactly. Because what better show is there?
What better is what are you doing at 3:30
on a Thursday afternoon?
You're listening to what's in your loaf.
So obviously, there's 6 people hanging out with us. Oh, one just left. Yeah. 5. We scared one away.
Thanks,
5
Mom.
people hanging out with us.
We'll talk later, Mom.
Appreciate it. Because I had enough of that. So.
That's it.
But no, it's just going to be fun.
Yeah.
I think.
The idea is kind of Seinfeldish, right? So there's really no right or wrong for this show. It's about what's in your loaf. We're just there's things that we're going to talk about.
We do have actual loaves.
Right.
We do have, a nice, we can cut the loaves.
Better than cutting cheese.
Yeah.
Right there.
So, well, if we had cheese, I could actually eat the cheese.
Well, yeah, because you're high protein, low carb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're doing the low carb thing too.
Yeah.
So, and then I've eaten
And by low carb, I mean low carb.
Yeah. I mean, both of us, I think, are doing less than 20 carbs a day.
Yeah, I'm trying 20 grams-ish. Yeah, you got it. Hey, Ken Cass, helping people get stoned. How are you, buddy?
All right. Yeah, he's the best counterfeiter around.
Counterfeiter.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, because of counterfeiting, they've now pushed back the $20 bill remake with Harriet Tubman on it.
Oh, what a disappointment. I'm not going to do a damn thing about that.
No.
All right. Does it matter who's on your freaking money?
Everything is digital now anyway, isn't it?
I like cash.
You look like a guy who would like cash.
I like cash. I do like cash. But I don't look at it. I don't spend time getting to know
Just
the people that are on it.
Look at the corners so you know which one you're pulling out.
Yeah, I look at the numbers.
Yeah.
So, exactly. I look at the corner, and if it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. And I throw a change. My change actually goes in my car, the little dish in the car.
Yeah.
That's my Friday morning coffee money. Almost all the time.
Nice.
So,
if I'm a cash guy, I save up my coin for my annual camping trip with the dudes.
Okay.
Yeah. And usually, by the end of the year, I'll have about $100 or something. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's a good way to save, interest-free.
Interest-free. Because who wouldn't want interest-free savings?
Right.
Put your money here, we won't give you a damn thing in return.
That's it. Nothing. And we'll charge you to get it out. That's right.
Exactly.
It's 15
It's a
cents.
deposit $100, it's only going to cost you $9.95 to get it back.
That's right. That's right. And of course, Ken would be a great guy. Ken's got a great sense of humor. Ken Cass.
Yeah.
He'd be a good guy on this show too.
I'd actually like to get Ken on here and talk some Thursday afternoon, Ken Cass, because of what you do with the telemarketing callers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ever since I learned how you put them in touch with Mr. Bear, and I'll just let that sit right there. I've actually used that one myself a couple of times. So, I don't know how many calls Mr. Bear has received,
I don't
but
know. There you go.
I enjoyed that one. That was a good one. So.
So the real interesting thing is that I don't know. I mean, I think we're blessed that we grew up without the internet and these phones and things like that. Because I did some pretty stupid things. I did some pretty stupid things as a kid.
So how stupid were they?
Well, one of the things, and Ted Mosley's on it, he'll know this, from back in the 80s, growing up in Iowa, we'd go corning. You know what corning is?
No, I do not know what corning is.
So,
even though I grew up in Missouri, I do not know what corning is.
So corning is, back in the day, I'm back. Sorry about temporarily reducing your audience by 20%. Thanks, Hunter.
Thank you, Hunter. We needed that extra 20.
I appreciate you flushing without being on the phone. That's great.
Yeah.
So, corning is, like throwing eggs. But what you do is you take, remember back, we didn't have backpacks back then, you had duffel bags.
Yeah.
And so we would go out into the cornfields and shuck the corn into the duffel bags. And then we would run around and we'd throw corn at cars that were passing by.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's corning.
That's corning.
That's corning.
Wow.
Right? So as kids, you're out running around and you're doing that. You're like, yeah! You hear it just go on the side of a car. And then we'd all scatter, right? Like,
You'd had better, yeah.
And we're like, this is the funnest thing ever. This is great. And now that I'm older, I'm like, that's like throwing rocks at cars.
Yeah, a little bit.
It would chip the paint. I mean, I don't know what we were thinking, but
Well, you weren't, were you? You were thinking about how great it was to throw corn.
Hunter was a snowball.
We did the
guy.
same thing with snowballs. Okay.
No. So literally, you would see 15 dudes and dudettes, right?
Yeah.
Mullets, everything, cruising around, just reaching in their duffel bag and unload.
And unload.
Unload. And
Wow.
man, and you'd hear they'd lock up the tires, they'd put it in reverse, and nobody, they'd come, and you all, thank God, back in the 80s, it wasn't concealed carry, but.
Huh. I grew up in Missouri. Back in the 80s, it was open carry.
Well, yeah, you just had the rifle on the back window.
Yeah, there was not a truck around
No.
that didn't have a rifle or two in the back window.
Loaded,
The
ready,
gun racks, yeah.
loaded, ready to go,
Yeah.
and the shells were under the seat. for more.
Exactly. Yeah, you're not wrong. We used to go out in the 80s. We used to go out in the fields. We'd load up, take our guns, and go out and find an old dead tree to shoot.
Sure.
And so yeah, we weren't really all about throwing shit at cars.
Oh, that's what we did.
So it was
crazy.
Yeah, because
All night long. Yeah.
I
Until curfew.
yeah.
And illegal. What was illegal, Stacy? Throwing corn? I don't know if throwing corn. I don't think there was a law about throwing corn. It irritated a lot of people. That's
I
what,
mean, I don't know. That would be a civil suit, wouldn't it, or an insurance thing?
You had to get caught first.
Yeah, nothing's illegal unless you get caught.
Yeah.
That's the way that goes.
And when you're 14, 15, 16, you can outrun most adults through yards and things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're safe.
We used to run
But,
around at night.
but nowadays, here's what would happen. You would have your smartphone. I'd be whipping the corn. You'd be filming it.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, police
You're
are
about
busting
to-
on the door.
Yeah. So, because
Because it went viral.
your dumb self was filming the whole thing.
Right. Yeah, wow, property damage. Cars get chips. I mean, it's like driving on gravel.
Yeah.
It happens once in a while.
So, but yeah, thanks for spoiling all the fun there, Stacy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It was good. It was good. But that's the fun thing is that's what's in my loaf. That's what makes my bread.
That's what makes your bread.
There's
huh?
some good old things right there. That's what makes my bread. That's what's in my loaf.
That's cool.
That is good.
That's good.
So, do you prefer pop-up campers or RVs?
I prefer none of the above. If I'm going somewhere, well, you know what though, I wouldn't mind an RV, I suppose.
Yeah.
We had a pop-up camper when I was little.
Yeah.
And it was, my wife and I are not campers.
No.
We haven't vacationed really ever. We've done long weekends, but we don't go anywhere. We've always had either little kids or animals, and now all our kids are grown, but we got 4 dogs, 4 cats. Somebody's got to feed them. And the cats you can pretty much leave, because they'll take care of themselves.
Yeah.
As long as you leave enough food out, but the dogs won't. But
No.
the only time our big vacation was a number of years ago, not now, but a number of years ago, was to the Mall of America, so my wife could shop and I could go do the little, what was that, the Snoopy amusement park?
Oh, yeah, you did
with
that
the
little roller
kids.
coaster?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
and
good.
they had a log ride, water
Uh-huh.
log ride, and little bumper cars and everything. So, but you know, it was a shopping event.
Absolutely.
It was not, you know, not. We were not wilderness people. When I was much younger, I used to camp a lot.
Yeah, well, it's
But,
good you got kicked out of your house.
You know, well, yeah, you're actually not wrong about that.
And when I say I camped a lot, I was homeless for.
Yeah, you know, it's yeah. There's a whole
Under the
big long
viaduct.
story. What's in my loaf? Holy cow! Yeah, do you really want to know?
Do you really
So
wanna know?
it starts with parents that were something else. And you know what? My mom's she might watch this, but no, my mom was
Right.
fine and dandy. She did her best she could. She could not cook. Still can't. Hates cooking to this day. Well, you know, we had a wonderful dinner when she made hot dog casserole.
Oh.
And so that was exciting because it was
Castle.
edible. You know, it literally hot dogs all cut up over sliced potatoes, covered in cream of mushroom soup with condensed milk,
Yep.
and then sliced onions, and then thrown in the oven until it was all soft enough and hot enough to eat.
Yeah.
So, and
Nice.
our friends would come over like, we're having hot dog casserole, guys. Get it? And you know what's for dessert? No, what's for dessert? Mustard toast. Mustard toast. And I haven't had that in a long, long time.
Just
But
toast with mustard.
once had it is essentially, yeah. It's you take a loaf. Wonder Bread works perfect for this.
Always
And
good.
you take a little yellow mustard and melt some butter with it over the stove, and then brush that on the bread, stick it in the broiler, get it nice and toasty, pull it out, you got mustard toast. And one of my friends that I had a sleepover one night, we had that, and he threw up all over my clothes in my open closet. He projectiled.
Yes.
Wah! It was, I woke up to him, I'm like, dude,
That
that's
is
my
awesome.
clothes.
Oh,
Why
nasty.
didn't you go to the bathroom?
I would have been throwing up too.
But you know, that was good eating at my house, so that's what my loaf starts with. And you know, friends and family that we had extremely minimal adult supervision.
Always
super
back
minimal.
in the day.
Yeah.
Like, hey, be here
Yeah.
by 5. That's when we're eating.
Yeah,
We'll be back
or
by
the street lights
Yeah.
come on, and
Yeah.
and then, in fact, there was a time after my parents split up that I actually even had the ladder outside my bedroom window because my bedroom was on the second floor, and I don't think my dad ever went in the backyard because I had to mow, and that ladder sat outside my bedroom window for an entire summer when I was 13, 14.
Sure.
And I would go out every night after night, and we'd be roaming the neighborhood. Midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, come back home, climb back up the ladder, crawl back in the window, and he never said a word. So either he didn't care,
Right.
or, which he probably,
Could be.
that's probably more the case,
Yeah.
or he just never caught on because he didn't need that ladder for at least 2 months.
2 months.
So,
My parents were like, really, how naive do you think we were? We knew it. I was the youngest of 4 boys, though. So I am the youngest of 4 boys. I don't
still,
know. I don't know.
you
Yeah,
didn't get
still
any
am.
older than the rest of them.
Right, I haven't
Yeah.
yet.
Interesting how that works out, huh?
Well, actually, if you really want to look at it, so there's Kevin, Kirk, Keith, and then Kent, Thomas, Timothy, Todd, and Trevor. So KTJ. It's a 60s thing, right? So Kevin,
Mhm.
Kirk, Keith, Kent. Yet I am older than the firstborn. How can that be?
Did you live longer?
No, he's still alive. We're all still alive.
Well, then how are you older than the firstborn?
He was born on leap day.
Oh, leap year.
So I've had more birthdays.
You had more
Literally, I'm older.
Yeah.
I mean,
'Cause, yeah.
According to
if you're,
birthdays.
yeah, if you're according to birthdays, then
Yeah.
you are going to be
a
older.
lot older than him.
So
Yeah, he's double nickel, so you divide that by 4. You know.
he's in his 20s still, right?
Ish.
Ish.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, divided by 4.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So he's still in his.
If you
teens.
were to do the math, or someone out there were to do the math.
Somebody do simple math.
Somebody-
What's 55
Carry the
divided
one.
by 4?
Carry the ones.
So, yeah.
He's 11.
Yeah.
12. He'll be 12. 56. Right?
Yeah, 12.
Yeah.
He'll be 12.
He will
Shortly.
be 12 next year.
Next year.
Yeah. 2020. He'll be 12.
Well, that would be great.
So that was what I always said. That's what I always said when, hey, tell us something nobody knows about you.
Well, I'm older than my oldest brother.
That's right.
So, well, there you go.
How could that be?
All right.
What? People are like, what? Doesn't make sense. Did it die? What happened?
Yeah, well, no one thinks about leap year.
Yeah, nobody does. They
Nobody.
forget about leap year.
So, yeah, so we don't even need it.
So here's the deal, everybody who's out there listening, and I know that we have thousands of people listening right now.
Thousands.
Is what's in your loaf? Pete is going to show us what's in the loaf today.
What's in this loaf today?
Because
we'll
right
cut one
now,
of
I
these
mean, we
off.
got 4 minutes till this show is done.
Don't do this at home, kids.
Yeah, he is a trained
I'm
professional.
a trained professional.
It'd be like that Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Trained. Oh no! Look at that. Oh, this is a hard loaf. Are you a hard loaf? Do you have a loaf that's hard?
Yeah. What is in your
This
loaf?
is okay. What's in this loaf is white bread.
White bread.
We got white bread.
White bread is in the loaf this
It's
week.
a privilege loaf.
It's a privilege loaf.
So we have white loaf, white privilege loaf.
White.
Oh, that's terrible to say.
WPL. Oh,
Oh,
that's what
Oh,
that
no.
stands for.
No.
24/7.
No,
WPL.
no. I don't need that out there. Holy shit. No. That's where people live,
Yes.
not white privilege loaf. Ay, ay, ay. There is, you know what? I could get into a debate on that forever and ever and ever. Anyway, this is what's in this loaf.
That's what's in the loaf.
So, and I think the birds
Yeah, I
are going to
agree.
get this loaf.
Stacey, I agree. There's too many jokes.
So yeah, too many.
And here's the deal. You look. We want you to tune in. We want you to put in some comments, and we can talk about what's in
Yeah.
your loaf next week.
Yeah,
when
absolutely.
we're on. The more interaction we get, actually, the funnier and the more the quick-wittedier that
Yeah.
you and I are, that we enjoy. So really looking for, if you want to be a guest on,
If you want to be a guest, come in here at 3:30 on a Thursday afternoon. We got an extra chair right across
we got an
from
extra
me over
chair,
here.
we got more than enough microphones.
mics.
But you have to bring a loaf.
You do have to bring a loaf. If you're a guest, you got to bring a loaf. You
That's
got to
it.
bring your loaf in here.
That's it.
So,
That's what
that's
you
how
have
it
to
works.
do.
That's your admission fee.
Your admission fee is bringing the loaf, and then hey, at the end, we're going to chop it open and see what's in your loaf.
Yeah, there you go. So make it an interesting loaf. This not so.
Well,
eh,
it's our
it's our very first
it's our
loaf.
inaugural.
It's our inaugural loaf.
Is it this our inaugural?
Inaugural.
Yeah.
It's your first.
Yeah.
It's not as Hunter reminded us, it's not a first annual.
Right.
It's our first inaugural.
Right.
Inaugural loaf.
Yeah.
Inaugural loaf.
Stacy, yeah. Hey, we'll take. You can
Hey.
come in off the street. We don't care. Come as you are.
Yeah.
Listen, we've got the table set.
Yeah.
You just
We
bring
got-
the loaf, and we'll talk about what's in your loaf.
Yeah, our nice,
It can be anything. So the idea is, give us topics to talk about. Give us things that we can really just kind of make fun of.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's really the idea is.
We're all gonna make fun of you.
The idea is we really want to just be that show where we make fun of people, do the politically incorrect,
Completely.
and get you to laugh
Yeah.
because there's not enough laughter in the world today. So it's
Not
important.
near enough.
It's important to laugh.
Laughter is and always has been and forever shall be the best medicine.
That's it.
I miss that.
And I will tell you this: you just think of what the acronym LOAF stands for.
Think about that.
So,
It's laugh often and do something with the F.
F.
So laugh often and
frantically.
There you go. We'll figure it out. We'll do something a little better next time. I think we kind of talked about that.
And you never know, folks. We got to go right now,
we
but
do.
next week maybe meat will be in your loaf.
Yeah, we could. There's a meatloaf. I didn't even thought of. I want meatloaf.
That's it. So for Peter Gault, I'm Kent Jones. What's in your loaf? This is the inaugural one. We'll see you next week, same time, same bakery stations.
Yeah.
And
Bakeries.
Make this thing go viral.
Yeah. Make it go.
That's it.
All right. Are we out?
I am idle. I'm off the air on 24/7.
All right.
Yeah, that was it.
All right.
That was
Next.